This episode, we're going to look at filters, and this is a way that you can modify or disable an existing event that's happening normally within Dota with the systems in place. So, for example, when I kill a hero, not only will it give me experience, but it also gives me gold. Let's say I want to disable the experience or even change how the experience works. The way that you would do that is with filters, and you can also do, I think, as well with gold. So, one example that you can do, not only if you just want to disable it, but I have an inventory filter, and to show you example in place that's already I've made, is that you could pick up these tier 1 boots, and it will check when you pick up boots again what tier it is, and only keep the highest tier in your inventory. So here is tier 2 boots, and when I drop it, it drops the tier 1 boots on the ground when I pick up tier 2. And same happens, here's tier 3 boots, it will drop the tier 2. And even if I go back and try and pick up a lower tier, it will continue just to keep dropping it. And I have armor as well, which interacts the same way. I currently have tier 2, and when I pick up tier 3, it drops the tier 2 onto the ground and keeps tier 3 in my inventory. So that is just a good example of what you can do potentially with the logic, and you can even do more complex things than that. So we're going to look at experience filters, and we're going to first have a look at the API here. But here are all the different ones. So you have like ability tuning value filter, there's a bounty rune filter, an execute order filter, inventory filter, modify gold filter, which I said you could kind of do as well. But these are all the clear functions. We want to find the set functions. So now let's look at our code, and in here on add-on game mode.lua, let's go to our init game mode function and go down here, and we need to call we need to get the game mode first. Local game mode equals game rules get game mode entity. This is how we get our game mode class, and then we want to go game mode set modify experience filter. So in here we take a function and also the context, which is the self, it's the game mode itself. So this is not good enough to write our function. We're going to put this on new lines, and what this does is we pass in context and event, and this is the same on pretty much every one of these filters as far as I know. And context is not really used that much, but event is a table. So this function will get called when experience is added to your hero. And what we're going to do is we're going to go print, and we're going to go event, and we're going to go bracket, and we're going to print this out, this table. And how we do that is we need to go for kv in pairs event do end. And what this will do is it will print out each key value on this table. So, and we're going to just print out dash 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 so that we can see the start and end of our table or event table. So let's go and clear this table, or clear our console, and restart our game mode. So now once we're in our game mode, we attack the Sven and we hit him twice, and we look here at this table. So in here in our table we have hero int index const, and it returns an integer. A reason const is 1, experience 40, player ID const. So just to, as a matter of fact, for a guess, this is the entity index of the unit that gained experience. The reason is probably some sort of integer, like say 1 is that they died to another hero or a spell or something, and the experience is the amount of experience. The player ID is the player who probably got the experience. So you can modify and change stuff based on these values. And how you get these is we want to use this one here. Let's go back to our code. We want to use this one. Let's say event dot hero int index const. So the reason why we want to use this is because what I want to do instead of giving experience is to instead give mana. So if we look at what's happening just in the game mode right now, down here I have 100 experience, and when you spawn in you have 0 mana. But when I killed the player, I did not gain experience for anything there, for whatever reason. I don't know why, but what it might just by default return false. But what you can do in your game mode in this code is that down here in this callback function, if you return true, it will just do the default experience that normally happens in Dota. Whatever this event does, it will just run and be logically the same as it is in Dota. If you want to change that, then you'll return false. And I assume, based on what I've seen just here, is that it's automatically returning false for me. Now, this can't be guaranteed all the time, so it's important to return either true or false where you want to disable or enable. So you can also write logic like if and else if and put that with your return value as well. Now, in this case, we want to return false, disable default experience in comments. Now, here we have this. We want to get the local unit equals int index to h script, and this will convert an entity index to a h script, which is going to be our unit. Now, this might not always succeed, so we want to check to see if the unit is not equal to nil, then end. Now, this unit, there's a function called give mana, and we want to give them 50 mana, just for example of this video. Now, this unit will come back here, and if it doesn't work, we could print something out and say something, but it should work in this case. And yeah, if you want to use any other values that, like say the experience value from the table, you just literally just go experience and type it in there, however you write it. It's whatever the name of the value is from that table, and printing it out becomes very useful and stuff like this. So now that we've loaded back in, we go and kill the Sven, and we're currently at 0 mana, and when we kill him, we're now at 50 mana. Now, when he respawns, you'll see as well we've got the same, no experience gained, and we kill him a second time, and we're going to get 50 mana. Now, you could write any sort of logic for how you gain experience in the game, and hopefully this was very helpful video for filters. If you want to see more custom game tutorials, make sure you subscribe and check out the other videos on this channel.